welcome to the world of Richard Feynman, a guy who's been awesome and surely enough has been joked around himself. Also, some people say, surely you're joking, Mr. Feynman. He's not joking this time. He just didn't know any respect in the way. Okay, let me just stop doing all this. Alright, let me try this one more time. I am a book called Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman, and I was written by my creator. Decapitated. Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman, written by Richard P. Feynman. Dead, R.I.P. July 25th, 2023, at exactly 4:29. Oh well, that was fun. Now let's try this. Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman by Richard P. Feynman. Or should I say Dick Richard P. Feynman. This guy was a genius. All I can say is that is the only thing that seems to be able to prove everything that seems to be here. I'm only wearing this because I'm at tired and I'm doing at the library part of my this room because I love all these books and Feynman like to read books too. So let's just start this off with a nice tone. Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman, Adventures of a Curious Character by Richard P. Feynman. I have no idea what the P stands for though. Who is Richard Feynman? Let's give you a great big basis tip. Brought back to life 2 minutes after death. Alright, fine. Feynman won the 1965 Nobel Prize because he is awesome, but however, he didn't really want it. Then he found out that there was actually no way to disprove the medal. There was a way to disprove the money. Don't grab it for 2 years and then that expires. But however, he didn't want the medal. And, complicated matters happened, and he decided he got the medal. And so he got the medal, and then boom, he even got the cash. So, that was nice. Anyways, he also helped explain the cause of the Challenger disaster, which this guy did a speech about on that YouTube channel. Should I say his secrets? No, you cannot. Alright, fine. Well, this happened. He was one of the greatest theoretical physicists of his all time. That was said by the New York Times. Another thing that seemed to happen was that he also loved adventure. Yeah, isn't that right, other books? Let me think about what they say. Okay, I got it then. So this is basically what seemed to happen in the later life. He was a great joker. He was a great storyteller. He was a great, how should I say this without offending anybody about locks? Locksmith. Just kidding. He was actually a lock picker, and he was very good at safe cracking. He literally cracked the safe to the atomic bomb secrets, which is awesome. Isn't that right, fellas? That's right. Ja. Okay, whatever that German word was, I'm sure I gotta understand if it was Yiddish. Okay, let's go. Well, he was a great joker. Yes, he was a great joker. He was one of the greatest ideas of all time. He was one of the greatest physicists of all time. That was one of these things that New York Times actually described about him. When he gave lectures, he would be awesome. He would go to the board, write stuff down, and then he talks physics. When he sings physics in here, he says physics. Out here, he sees physics in here. He hears physics. Maybe not here. Okay, maybe not that. Okay, maybe I went a little too far. He sings physics. He says physics, and he sees physics. That's always how it happens when he starts thinking about them. Think about this. A little round thing that has weights underneath so that it doesn't fall off. It has to have something to do with physics, right? And here we go. See, whatever way I tilt it, it will always come back up. Because whenever it goes up, because there's this weight underneath that sags right here, but because of it, it actually runs down. He can explain all these mathematical concepts, physical concepts, in a simple language that I barely understand myself. What I mean to say is, Feynman is a great explainer. In fact, he often asked his fellow mathematicians and physicists, or whatever, chemists or scientists, to actually explain their concepts in simple language. Like, let's say that you use the word deoxyribonucleic acid. And they're like, what the heck is that for the students? And they say, DNA. What is DNA? A chain of nucleotides that are here and talks and makes everything about you. Your eyes, your nose, your mouth, yeah. And they're like, how does it do that? Using code. What code? And they go on use, very unsimple language to explain DNA or something. That didn't really happen. DNA was eventually discovered, and they were still trying to understand it by the time Feynman died. So that kind of sucks. Other thing that I kind of have to say is that when he tried to explain this thing, boom, there was this, theory, there was this experimenter, and, Feynman, the experimenter was kind of annoyed because he hated doing all these same experiments again, and boom, hey, I got these results. So are these all the same particles? No, according to this theory, by the way, that theory wasn't proven at the time, everything should be symmetrical, and we love that theory, so it must not be the same particles. Also, coincidentally, they have the same mass and same lifespan. But yay, according to this theory, everything must be symmetrical when they split apart. So these two should be correct. But when they split into 3 parts, that should not be correct. It can't be it. They have to be the different particles. And later on, more tests show that bacteria separated itself and it made a clone. So that was a very good discovery. And then finally they actually realized that the atom, when something happens to it and then it splits into 3 parts, all those 3 parts are still the same particles. So then the theory of symmetrical something was disproven. I really need this physics course. I really need to go to a physics course. Please tell me in the comments below if there was a physics course that is free and I can go on to. One more thing about this curious character that I actually have to mention is this. He did a very good job at teaching. So he could probably, because people actually found out about that, they said, hey, take a look at this textbook. Please tell us if it's awesome or not. I'm Feynman. You dirty liars! Something like that, at least. And then he goes on to read this. In this textbook, the students fill the flask with water at 60 degrees Celsius. They put the same volume of water into each flask. Yeah! They just show the method of doing it. They just don't explain why it's necessary, and why it's cool, and why it's awesome, and why you have to learn it. And sure, Bill Nye, you could be a bit more like a Bill Nye guy, but then, this textbook doesn't do a really good job at teaching the whole thing. At least the whole concept, at least. At least these are fun word problems and crossword puzzles. At least that's nice. Back then, the only crossword puzzle you get is in the newspaper. So that's a big up from the textbooks that Feynman tried desperately not to approve. But unfortunately, 65 different engineers said, okay, I approve it. All of them said that. And then when Feynman decided that I don't approve it, well, they said, hey, 65 great engineers that have proven their skills have said this is the greatest textbook of all time. Maybe not the greatest textbook of all time, but it was a great textbook. And are you smarter than those 65 engineers? Feynman was thinking, I'm not smarter than 65 engineers, but I am smarter than the average of the 65 engineers, which is what this book's rating is. With a bunch of other random people's opinion on this. So that kind of sucks too. He found out that people only read the book and say that these are great books because they just look at the ratings. Hey, lots of people read it, and they gave good ratings. So yeah, it should be awesome. They don't even bother reading the whole book itself, so they just give it high ratings. Which is why the third unpublished book, even though it was unpublished and not read at all, had great ratings because several people have already read it, and other people who were asked to rate it just saw that lots of people read it and rated it. And they would not believe that it was unpublished. That is actually great too. And one thing that I have to say, and have to admit that I learned from this thing, is other than the great lives and adventures of Mr. Feynman, I also find out lots of things about the world that safes really aren't that safe. And people only say that they're safe because the name of the object is called safes. Also learned that actually textbooks are terrible at teaching us stuff. They just make us memorize stuff without explaining what they actually is. Memorize and explain complicated words with complicated words. Is that a good thing? It's less complicated, but it's still complicated compared to the words that you've learned and memorized. And I also learned that you shouldn't memorize anything that you can look up in less than 10 minutes. Or it also happens that you kind of memorize it by accident. So, in conclusion, in this book, Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman, by Richard P. Feynman, you learned that Feynman was a great man. He was a great physicist. He had lots and lots of great ideas, and he placed them down there. He somehow met a lot of girls, drew a lot of new girls. I didn't teach you that. He did. And you also found out that textbooks are terrible at teachers. So, just don't memorize them. Google it up for something. I thank the internet that they exist today. Google up something for simple words, and then every complicated word you get, Google that up and make your own definition with simple words. No, not lengthy, not complicated, but simple enough for you to understand. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode too. So until next time, Shanine out, peace. Tell me in the comments below how much and how well do you think Feynman was at being a teacher on a scale of 10? I say 10. No, 100. Boo! Wait, so technically if I'm alive again, am I a zombie? I am so confused right now. I'm just kidding. Ow.